Hi guys, and welcome to this review of Blockbuster's debut album Losing Gravity, which I have decided to do in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean at about 35,000 feet up in the air on an aeroplane. I thought it was just quite fitting, given kind of the title of the album and the themes that it's about. I've been a fan of Blockbuster for quite a few years now, since they released their kind of debut EP. I believe it was To Hell and Back was the name of it. And their debut album has taken a long while, but I can say that it has been worth the wait. The first track on that album is Out in the City. I think this is a good opener, and it's got quite a sort of AC/DC Airborne-ish vibe, certainly once it gets going. A catchy chorus, and I really like the reverb of the background vocals sort of towards the end of the song. Yeah, it's quite a catchy, good opening song.
Too many days without you, you're like a drug. I'm gone by the morning, I bet you know. Gone by the morning, just give me one more thing tonight.
This is basically a song about a love addiction. It's pretty heavy, and again it's pretty catchy as well. And I really actually like the new riff that's introduced around the halfway point. It's a well-written song, all around pretty decent.
I'm flammable, you're an animal, out in the dark, we're untamable. Yeah, they don't know about us, they don't know about us.
This one is probably one of my favourites. It's a really strong track. Again, this one is sort of fairly AC/DC and Airborne-ish. I am aware that I'm getting some crazy lens flares here, but I'm just going to continue because I think this is an awesome place to do a review. So yeah, Flammable, overall really strong track. And I think this album has quite a sort of free, kind of feel good, do what you sort of want, almost anarchy sort of vibe, which I do like, and this is certainly one of the songs which highlights this.
I'm on the fairway, just a kid on the loose, taking over the airwaves. You got me howling for a pool full of liquor, deep enough to drown in.
So this one has another fairly heavy riff, which then breaks into a kind of lighter and freer first verse before the heavy riff is introduced again towards a pre-chorus and chorus. I really like this, and I think it works and kind of makes it quite interesting to listen to. One of the things that Blockbuster has kind of tried to do is not replicate classic bands. They're kind of they're influenced by classic bands, but they're given their own kind of modern feel to everything. And I think this is a really good example of this. I'm on this flight for like 8 hours, so I thought I'd kill some time by doing this, but I think it's not going too well because I've just started bringing around all the in-flight meals. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to eat this and then get back to the review.
I got my head in the clouds and my feet high off the ground. Gravity ain't got a hold on me, I ain't coming down.
So next up is the title track, Losing Gravity. Which I'll be honest with you is probably the only reason why I've decided to do this ridiculously hard review at 35,000 foot on a plane. This track is a lot slower and seems to take inspiration from the likes of Bon Jovi and Aerosmith. I really like it, and it's actually one of my favourite tracks on the album. The opening melody to it is really good, really catchy, with a sort of paralleling guitar and backing vocals. The song obviously has a strong theme of freedom, as well as other parts of the album. And aside from the initial influences, that I mentioned, I'm also actually picking up a bit of Oasis in the guitar in the chorus, as well as, you know, Bon Jovi. And the end of the song, I actually feel like it has a strong Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven vibe, with the sort of solo and outro with the kind of acoustic guitar. All in all, it's a great, well-written song with some awesome guitar work.
Sweet Mary Jane, you got me tripping, you got me kicking on the door like a maniac, and I'm back for more, yeah. She got me down, down, down on my knees, but I kinda like it.
So this one's been out for a while, so I haven't really found myself listening to it much recently. But when it did come out, I remember it being a great track, and I think it still is. Quite kind of AC/DC-ish. Yeah, another good track.
I'm seeing the snow down in Mexico.
Somebody Shock Me has a funky initial riff, which then branches into a heavier pre-chorus before returning to the funky riff in the main chorus. I wouldn't say it's a standout track, but it's a decent song again.
I got bloodshot eyes and a pocket full of dirt. My head is spinning like crazy. I don't wanna know, don't really wanna know where I will go.
So one of the really good aspects for this album that I really do want to praise it for is the use of kind of added sounds and hooks during the background, helping to kind of add more depth, detail and catchiness to all of the songs. And this is certainly one of the best songs for this. The amount that's going on in the background is awesome. Having said that, this isn't one of my favourite tracks, but it's not bad at all.
Hey, come on everybody! Hey, show me how you do it! Hey, pretty little thing, what's on your mind? It's 4 a.m., you got to feel alive!
So this is a really strong song, definitely worthy of a single, and I was really impressed with it. I really liked the kind of added background noises again, and the extra guitar, just helping it to, you know, be really catchy and, you know, as catchy as possible basically. And I would say it is one of the best songs on the album. I really like this one.
When it's all been said, still in the back of my head, I gotta ask myself, would you do it again?
Would you do it again? If this song is on about the review that I'm trying to do, no, I would not do this again, because this is an absolute nightmare trying to do this review. In terms of the song, I'm actually not too fussed about this song. It is a bit of a slower one. So yeah, but it does have a very, very catchy and great kind of solo to it. So I would praise it in terms of that.
Killjoys, call me another day, 'cause I'm bulletproof, I'm bulletproof. I don't give a damn what you say, you can't break through, no, you can't break through. Shots fired for nothing, I am bulletproof.
Final track on the album is Bulletproof. So this is another one that's been released a few years ago. It's been out for a while, so I haven't been listening to it much recently, but it is a good song. So overall, I am very impressed with this album. Standout tracks for me are Losing Gravity and Move. Possibly Flammable as well, because I really do like its chorus. As I've said before, this album kind of has mixtures of classic and modern influences, and I definitely think Blockbuster should continue with this style, because I think it is really working for them, and I hope that this album gets the exposure that it deserves. Overall, I'll give it an 8 out of 10, and I would definitely recommend listening to it if you haven't already. Thanks for watching this, and I'm going to stop this now because my arm is really, really hurting. and I'm about to lose the light. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please share if you enjoyed it, and let me know if you've ever seen someone try to do a review of an album on a plane before.